Hello and welcome to Art Club. Today we're going to be finding inspiration at the zoo. The zoo is a great place to practice your drawing, especially for animals that you might not get to see in the wild. I'm going to show you how to draw an elephant. We're going to look for the simple shapes that we can use as a guide for our drawing before we'll add in the details. And all you're going to need is a pencil, some paper and maybe a rubber. And if you want to draw along with me, then you can pause the video anytime you like. So if you get your pencil and paper ready, then we can start drawing. Before we start our drawing, I'm going to show you this photo of an elephant. We're going to look carefully at it and see what we can learn that's going to help us with our drawing. So I'm going to have a look and see what simple shapes I can see in the elephant that I can draw as guides at the start of our drawing. What shapes can you see? I'm going to start with drawing a circle for its head. Then if we take this circle, the head, we can use that as a measurement for the proportions in the rest of our drawing. So if I copy that, we can see that altogether the elephant is about 4 heads long. And then the height of the elephant is a little bit less than 3 heads tall. So we can use that when we are drawing out the guides for our drawing. But for now, if I just leave the one head, we can have a look at some of the other shapes. The body is like a big ovally egg shape. And the legs, I can see rectangles in the legs. The back leg I've drawn a bit more like an oval, and there's also little ovals in the feet. And the ear, I think that is almost like a sort of pizza slice wedge shape. So I think we've got a good idea of some of the shapes we might see, and then we're going to use that now when we start doing our drawing. So I start my drawing by drawing a circle for the head. So if I use my pencil to measure, I can see the size of the head and then I can work out how long the body will be. And remember that altogether the elephant is the size of 4 heads long and then 3 heads tall. Add in the large oval type shape for the body. I then add in the wedge shape for the ear. Then I can start to draw in shapes for the legs. We've got rectangle shapes and a smaller oval for the foot. And the back leg is an oval and then a rectangle and the smaller oval for the foot. And remember to draw lightly while you're drawing the shapes for your guide, because some of these you might want to rub out later, or if you change your mind and make a mistake, it's much easier to rub out too. And I can add in the trunk. Now it's larger at the top and then it gets narrower at the bottom, and it's a sort of snake type shape. So I check that I'm happy with all the proportions and shapes, and then I know that my guide is ready for me to start adding in the details. So I start to blend the shapes together so it looks more like an elephant, and I add in details like the inside little line showing his ear. And I'm still sketching fairly lightly now because sometimes I might want to adjust the shape still. Add in the elephant's tail. And I add in some tusks around by its trunk. And look where the eye is going to go. Elephants have got quite small eyes compared to the size of their bodies. Now I'll rub out some of the shapes that I drew in at the beginning, because I don't need those now that I can see where the proportions and lines need to go for the elephant. And I can carry on adding in more details and going over the lines that I do want to keep, making them darker. And if you remember looking at the photo of the elephant, you can see what the texture of its skin is like. That it's got quite sort of wrinkly type skin, and so if I add in lines to show that, I can suggest the texture of it. And I'm not quite happy with where the eye is at the moment, so I'll rub that out and I can move it a little bit. And I can add more details into the tail, because at the end of the tail then it's got these hairs, so if I add in longer lines that suggests the texture of their tail. And on its feet I can add in details around its toes. Now I could leave the drawing basically as it is now, which is quite a simple drawing showing the lines, contour lines of the elephant. But I'd like to add in some shading now, which makes it look a bit more three-dimensional. Now the back legs, the ones furthest away from us looking at it, they're in shadow, so I can make them look darker. And I'm working quite lightly still at first, because I can make it darker as I go along by adding more layers. And if I hold my pencil so that I can have more of the lead in contact with the paper, I'm not just drawing with the point, but I'm drawing with the side of the pencil. Then you can get like a broader shading stroke. And here is my finished drawing of the elephant. I think one of the fun things about elephants to draw is their trunk, because you can draw it in lots of different shapes and it could be doing different things, like it could be holding something. So I've got some photos here of elephants that I took at the zoo, and you can see the trunks are in different shapes. So you could maybe draw the elephant again, similar to how we've done it already, but do something different with its trunk. Thank you for joining me for Art Club today. I hope you've enjoyed my video. Don't forget to have a look at the other videos I've got with drawing different animals, and I hope to see you again for another Art Club soon.